Hey beautiful people, my name is Jillian Haun and I'm with the Beauty Project. The Beauty Project is a research project where I interview people about what beauty is and what it is that makes them beautiful. In this version of the Beauty Project, I've been interviewing people that work inside of the beauty industry and asking them why. Why are they doing hair? Why are they doing nails? Also asking them what it means to them, why they stay. Especially during a time where the beauty industry has been hit pretty hard. And I also ask them, what do they want people to know about the industry itself? And then, of course, what it is that makes them beautiful. It's been so much fun and such a journey for me. And in this interview today, I interview Bronwyn Parsons, and I had an absolute blast talking with her because she instantly felt like my friend. I wanted to go hug her and hang out with her all the time. Unfortunately, we're many miles apart. But her passion and her drive for the industry is something that I really relate to, and I really hope that you enjoy this. Thank you so much, and welcome to the Beauty Project.
Hi, Bronwyn. Thank you so much for joining the Beauty Project. I'm going to have you introduce yourself and just tell us a little bit about you, your salon, how long you've been working, all those fun things.
Well, thank you so much for inviting me. This was a very exciting surprise and perfect timing. My name is Bronwyn. I own a boutique salon in Capitola, California. I have been in the industry for about 7.5, 8 years now. I've owned my salon for almost 2, and currently we are in our second shutdown for COVID-19. So salon ownership is definitely looking a little differently than it has. And this is definitely something that I could never have prepared myself for. And yet I feel like it has given me a little bit of time to do things like this with you, meet with you, and be a part of this amazing project. So I'm looking forward to another little break where I can get back to my why and a little recentering and realigning.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm really excited to have you here. And when we were emailing, I really loved you bringing up your why. And it was a good little reflection for me of why am I doing this project? And it's for this very reason, to hopefully inspire you and that ripple effect out, and to inspire myself, and what the beauty industry means to me and doing hair. Like it is deep in my heart, and I'm not practicing right now, and I miss it every day.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, it's hard, and I'm stoked that I found a platform to at least talk about it.
And you're doing like the deep work right now, which we all need to do, like no matter what industry you're in, no matter who you are, what you do, like this deep dive work into your why and into, as a human, like what you're here, what your purpose is, what your lifeline is so important. And it's hard, but you're doing it, and that's awesome.
And you're doing it by saying yes to be a part of this as well.
Yes, I love that.
So that's fun. Let's start off just like right off the bat. How do you define beauty?
So personally, my definition for beauty is more of a feeling. I believe that it's not an aesthetic because there's no way that you can bring beauty into this little box, like beauty is a feeling. You can feel beautiful if you are in your pajamas on the couch, and you can feel beautiful dolled up on a night out. And I think it all has to do with kind of what's going on within you and also what's going on around you and how you are choosing to react to that. And then how you are choosing to, you know, kind of sit in with yourself into your true self and be accepting of that and then portraying that acceptance out.
Excellent. Has that evolved over time for you? Is that kind of how you've always seen it?
No, absolutely not. I think even when I started to go to cosmetology school, it was very much more of an aesthetic for me, right? Like I was in my early 20s and it was just like this perfect vision of beauty. It was like, you know, Kardashian beauty, right? Where you have the eyelashes and the hair extensions and the perfect skin. And I think as I've gotten older, I've just realized that the people that I think are the most beautiful and the people that I love the most, that I find the most beauty in, are not necessarily the ones that, you know, have this like perfectly symmetrical face. You know what I mean? Like that perfect like standard of beauty that Americans try to live up to. It's like I don't see that anymore. And I think it's just as I've gotten older, I've realized that again, it's that feeling. And it's how being with these people that I believe to be so beautiful make me feel. Because again, it's a feeling to me, at least. But that was not always the case for sure. This is an enlightenment that I have been working towards. And I think it has a lot to do with a lot of therapy that I've been into just to do the hard work and get to the deep stuff, get to the whys, get to the true lifelines. And, you know, it's not like fogged up by a bunch of muck. And in authenticity, right? It's like, this is my authentic person. This is your authentic person. And that's beautiful because we can sit in and be authentic together.
Yeah, I love hearing that it's just been an evolution for you and that you're choosing to say yes to that. Me also, it's crazy. Like looking back like 10 years ago of just like, oh my gosh, like
a different human. I was a different human with completely different ideals.
Exactly.
And would also like to think like as much, and I think we're kind of going into this next, but like I would also like to point out that like I truly believe that social media and the media in general play a huge role in how we perceive ourselves in relation to others. And I think that just within the last, I mean, I don't know, like 5 years, we really have had this like influx of body positivity versus competition. So I think that that also has had a play on things as well. And I have to appreciate that and like kind of give the like give, you know, my hands up to that, because seeing other women stand up in their selves and their true selves and be like, this is me, I'm beautiful for who I am in my unique body, has been inspirational and amazing.
Yeah, that there's like this huge duality, right? Like it, like the social media, we can choose to see like all this like quote unquote nastiness, right? Of like just it not being real.
Yeah.
Because that's one piece to it. But then there's also this thing that you're talking about, especially in the last 5 years, of just having this platform to use our voices and to reach more audience. And I love that. And you can't have joy without sorrow.
No.
Right? And
no.
so those go hand in hand, as messed up as it is.
Oh, 100. I agree with that. Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
We would never know how beautiful things could be if we never saw the darkness.
what is the beauty industry to you? Like I hear that it's evolved for you. So what's alive in that for you right now?
So the beauty industry is, I feel like, such like a multifaceted, complicated like web, right? I feel like on one hand, there is very much like vanity, all that stuff. And I think that there are some people that are just that, and that's their decision, and I support that because that's what makes them happy. And I think that there's kind of this whole other side where it's like, for example, for me, I work behind the chair as a hairstylist, and I truly believe that my service to my guests is to help bring out the feelings that they have within them, like their confidence and their beauty and, you know, support and lending an ear. So I feel like the beauty industry honestly is opportunity. We have so much opportunity to affect people different ways. Like you doing this project, you're going to reach people that are in the beauty industry and also not in the beauty industry. You're like shining a light on us a little bit and kind of like giving us a platform to dive deep and share. It's not just about having this perfect blonde hair. It's also about our servitude to our guests and how wonderful and fulfilled we are by helping you. And it truly is that for me. And also, I mean, going into stuff like the environment and Mother Earth. My salon is very eco-friendly, eco-conscious. I carry a clean color line and I use only non-toxic color. I also carry a clean hair care line that is packaged in infinitely recyclable packaging. We also use a recycling program at my salon that's able to reduce and reuse 95% of our beauty waste. So the fact that I also have a platform to do something for Mother Earth that literally has nothing to do with beauty, you know what I mean? Like, that to me is so important. And yet again, it's another opportunity for me to kind of support and up level another part of my life that is truly important to me, which is being eco-friendly and supporting Mother Earth and being holistic and healthy and all that. And it comes together in my life behind the chair. And it's like, it's opportunity. It's ever changing. It's everything and anything. And yet it's the tiniest pocket of the world, you know?
I love that. I love everything you just said. Uh, yeah, it's what I love about the industry is that you get to choose what you want it to be.
Totally. It's amazing.
And there's so much of me that's like wants to like shake people and be like, wake up.
Yeah.
And they're also choosing that.
And at the end of the day, like, that's okay, right? Like, again, define beauty. It's because we're all perfectly created differently and we need the differences. And it's just, I mean, the beauty industry just mirrors that. There are so many different hairstyles. I mean, within my salon, there's 6 of us, and literally every single one of us serve a different clientele because we are so different and we bring something different to the table. And it doesn't matter whether I'm doing highlights and the girl next to me is doing highlights. Those highlights are going to look different and those clients are going to look different and they're each going to get a different service.
Yeah, I love that. I'm curious about, so outside of like actually doing hair and the eco-friendly part of it, it's like there's this relationship that you're building with each client. And for me, you know, I started to do that, and I got a little glimpse of it, and it was like, holy cow, this is so precious.
Oh, it's so precious and so intense.
It's so intense. And so I'm curious, like, what is it like for you holding space for people? And, you know, like you're doing a piece of artwork on someone's head, right? Like that's happening. But then there's this relationship and bond that's being built, and you're holding space for people. And I want to hear more about what that's like for you.
So this is interesting. And I actually, like, this is something that I think about all the time. And I think that it's so crazy that if you think about our culture and our society, we are a very hands-off society. And you think about it even now with like teenagers these days, they don't even have relationships, they have phones, right? Like that's how we communicate, is through a phone. So if you think about all the industries and how little human touch is involved, right? We are one of the only industries left that truly has a physical connection with the people that we're serving. So not only is my relationship with my clients based on like trust from them for me to do the service as we have discussed, it goes so deep because there really is like an energetic like transmission between the two of us because we are physically connected. So I find, because I'm an introvert, that holding space for others can be uplifting, it can be energizing, and it can also be extremely draining. So one of the things that I do, and I'm lucky enough to do because I'm the owner, is I really have done a lot of work to call in my ideal clientele and to call in those people that I truly believe will have a mutually beneficial relationship with me. And then I'm not like a pop in and get a haircut and then never see me again type girl. Like all my clients, I have relationships with them. So like I create this relationship so that we have a foundation that's built so that we can connect on a deeper level. And so that way I also am aware it's not like, I mean, you remember when you got a new client, it's exhausting because you're like, what is this going to be like? What space are we going into? How can I prepare myself? And it's like, when you have a regular clientele, you can prepare yourself a little bit better because you're aware of their energies and you know how to prepare your service industry. And so we need to make sure that our cups are filled. If they're not, we can't serve our clients to our best abilities.
Wow. I hear that you're an introvert.
Oh yeah. Big time.
That's an incredible thing to be, being a hairstylist.
I know. No one believes me. And introvert and extrovert, I mean, there are so many different ways I say that I'm an extroverted introvert because I can be very social and I can walk into a crowd or a room and spark conversations. I'm very personable. I think that's why I'm so good at my job. But when I am drained, I need to recharge. And when I recharge, it's alone. It's doing self-care. It's getting acupuncture where I can like close my eyes, which is what I did this morning. I can close my eyes and just be in my body. I very much recharge alone and in silence and in quiet and in like solitude and peace.
I relate to that, definitely. When did you know you wanted to be a hairstylist?
Literally when I was like 5. Seriously. This is a funny story. So when I was little, I would always want to like wash like my dad's and my mom's and my brother's hair Like I am like 8 and 10 years younger than my brothers. So like my mom would like put me in the bath with them and like I'd be like, let me wash your hair when I was like little. And then when my brothers were young, they let me start cutting their hair, I think when I was like 6. Like just grabbing scissors, they let me cut their hair. And then my auntie bought me, like, you know how everybody had like those like, not Rubbermaid, but like they were the plastic like kitchens.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I had a salon.
Oh my God, how cute.
Yeah. So like it had like a blow dryer that you like went like this and it was like vroom vroom. Like it had like a little like fan in it, but it was like the button like wound it up. And it had all the little brushes and like it was like a little 3-fold like mirror with a chair and like drawers with like all clips and stuff. So I started like doing hair at my salon when I was like literally like 6. And I was just like obsessed with it. Like I would have my girlfriends would come, my little friends, and I would like blow dry their hair. I got a round brush stuck in one of my little friends' hairs. We were like 7 or 8, and my dad had to go in and pull like every single bristle out one by one. That was really bad. And then just like all during middle school, like on picture day, my friends would all come to my house and we would all get ready. And it's funny because my dad owned his own business and my mom worked in a hospital. So my mom worked a lot. So I was really raised by my dad and my 2 brothers. And as much as I was like a tomboy and like would skateboard and always wore like baggy sweatshirts and like baggy jeans, like I just had this thing for hair. I just like loved it. Like I was just like such a tomboy, but I always had like my hair done. And I wanted to go to cosmetology school right out of high school. And my dad was like, no. And I was like, okay, that's legit. And so I went to college and I was doing kind of like my prereqs for speech pathology. And I realized that you did your clinicals generally with like geriatric patients. And I just knew that I was like, I can't do that. So at 25, I dropped out of college. I had already been like dragging because I was already 25. I dropped out of college and enrolled in cosmetology school. So I was a late bloomer. Like all the girls, my business partner is like 5 years younger than me. But I mean, I think that it was the perfect timing. I think that I learned a lot when I was in college. I had like some really rad experiences and, you know, I got to do fun things. I got to travel. I got to see my nieces grow up and I wasn't just like working constantly, and it was really amazing. And then once I got into cosmetology school, I was just like really determined. I was like, I'm going to be the best. And so I think you have to have determination when you are a hairstylist because it's not easy. You don't just get out of school and get plopped into a chair and have a, you know, $75,000 a year clientele. It takes years to get there, and it's hard work. It's hard on your body. It's hard on your mind. It's hard on your finances. You have to be like prepared to be an apprentice and make like $0 an hour basically for 2 years minimum. So I think if I wasn't where I was, I probably wouldn't have been where I'm at right now, if that makes sense.
Yeah, everything shows up on time.
Yeah, exactly. So it was just the grace of time and what I was willing to put in. And I think because this truly is my passion, and, you know, I probably won't be working behind the chair forever. But I'm in the place that I want to be, and I'm in the place that I feel like I can make the biggest impact on this world.
That's something to celebrate.
Oh, yes, definitely. That's all we're searching for, right? Like, life is about what you do with it and your impact. Like, personally, I couldn't imagine just floating through this life and not doing anything good. Like, it's just, that's not what success is to me. Success is not a number. Success is the impact that I've left.
It makes me think of when I was, I think in middle school. Well, there's two parts to this. I had magazine photos, like head ceiling to floor.
Oh my God, I love it.
You couldn't see the walls. As I transitioned out of that, I would take one down and I would put a quote. Like I literally wrote on my walls. I don't know why my parents were okay with that, but it was fine. It's fine. We painted over it.
Yeah.
And I remember writing this one of, I don't want to change the world. I just want to make a difference.
Yeah. Yes. Because at the end of the day, like, one person is not going to change the world. And I mean, some people can shoot for the moon and not hit it and be okay. But like, personally, I cannot set myself up for failure. It's just not mentally healthy for me. So I think just making a difference is huge, that in and of itself. And the thing is that one person can make a difference. You're not going to fix everything, but you can make a difference.
Yeah.
I love that. That's good.
It's a fun memory that just popped in my head. Thank you for that.
That's good stuff. I love it.
Oh, I think I could talk to you all day.
I love that.
Okay, so we kind of talked on social media. Do you want to say more about that? Do you feel like there is more to say about it? I have so many questions. So
I know. The social media thing is so hard for me. I feel like it's just such a web, and we can get so caught up in it. I think that even people who are meant to be and share positivity can be triggering, right, for others. I've been experiencing that a lot lately. I think a lot of people have. And I think that it's very important, and I don't know, like, you know, it's just, you can't scroll the internet and wonder why this girl is lounging on the beach in freaking Caicos or whatever when you're busting your booty trying to keep your small business afloat, which is unfortunately where I found myself over the weekend, looking on the internet and comparing myself to other people. It's a dangerous place, and yet, like, I'm here with you because I met Megan through Instagram. Like, it's also freaking an incredible tool that we can utilize to make a difference and to create and nurture these incredible relationships with like-minded people who we wouldn't otherwise have gotten to know. And I think that there's beauty in that. And I think that, like you said earlier, like, you can't have the positives without the negatives. Like, this world is built on energetic exchanges, and energy is positivity and negativity. And that's just what it is. And we have to remember that and kind of be able to balance that, which is hard at times. We're humans. But yeah, social media it's a rough one. It's definitely something that takes a lot of self-practice to kind of be able to, I think, like, separate, you know, and have some real, like, clear clarity on what you're using it for and what you can absorb from it. But like I said, that gets hard. We get caught up.
Yeah, it's an opportunity to practice your boundaries.
Totally.
Yeah.
And, discernment as well, right? Like, am I going to follow this page? Is this real? Do I think that this girl really, works in marketing and has a penthouse apartment? Like, I don't know,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
It is interesting. And yeah, just an opportunity to check in with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So you're in your second shutdown.
Yes.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I'm with literally every other salon owner basically throughout the great golden state of California right now. And I support the fact that we are trying to help stop the spread, support our community health. I get it. I'm here for that. Unfortunately, it's just really hard on small businesses right now. And we are having to put on a lot of armor and go to war for something that we don't know how to fight. So I think it's putting one foot in front of the other right now, but I'm going to take this opportunity as another growth spurt. The last shutdown, I grew my business exponentially just by showing up and not kind of turning off and treating it like a vacation. Like from the minute we closed, I showed up. I was on my Instagram. I was contacting clients. I was, sharing new ways that I was going to serve them. I was doing product pickups. I was doing videos for tutorials and stuff like that. So second shutdown will be similar, just I'm going to level it up one more time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's wild that you have to do that, and thanks for doing it.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. I also rattling around going forward what things are going to look like. I don't believe that we will be going back to normal anytime soon. I do believe that the only way that we'll go back to normal is when we have a vaccine and when people agree to get said vaccine, which people won't even wear masks. So that's another story. So I'm just trying to, like you are so inspirational because you're in the beauty industry and you're inspiring people in the beauty industry and you're connected in the beauty industry, and yet you aren't working behind the chair.
Right.
So I'm trying to lean my social media platform more to green beauty and how to find green beauty that is actually green and you're not getting greenwashed, how to support living a eco-friendly lifestyle easily, how to live that lifestyle and have it be accessible, and how that ties in with health and wellness and the beauty industry. So very much like a holistic lifestyle that involves our own bodies, Mother Earth, and like our own bodies, meaning like our physical bodies and our like mental and spiritual bodies.
Great.
So.
And we're so lucky to have that social media platform to be doing that again, right?
Yes, exactly. Like, it's just amazing once you kind of put something out into the universe, people find you and you find people, and even just kind of setting that intention of going in that direction. Like I've already found people that are aligned with that. And so I'm able to kind of like bounce ideas off them and have communication with them. And I'm able to kind of map out a little bit better, like what this is going to look like going forward.
Great. Yeah. Like we said earlier, an opportunity for change.
Totally.
And, I mean, the beauty industry is always evolving. It's
exactly.
Extremely heightened right now.
Yes.
We can't ignore it.
The industry mirrors what happens in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that the beauty industry is changing right now, hugely, vast changes are happening right now. And you either like, I mean, this would be harsh, but you either like buck up and get on that horse and ride it, or like you got to step aside because you can't be trying to do old things when everything around you is evolving. So,
yeah, and that brings me to my next topic of just, I mean, to me, this ties in with the evolution of textured hair in Black Lives Matter movement. And I had zero education of textured hair in school. It's wild to me. And one of the Black women that I actually interviewed a couple weeks ago, so I got handed no Black clients. Yeah. She got handed all of them. And right. And so that is changing right now.
Oh, yes, definitely. Definitely. And I think that, you know, having more Black leads in platform teams as well, where it's like, so like you, I had zero training, right? In cosmetology school, I went to school actually in Santa Clara, which is a little bit more diverse than Santa Cruz. Santa Cruz is pretty much not. And our like diversity training in cosmetology school in Santa Clara, which is like San Jose, California, like a huge hub, right? I think it was 2 weeks of ethnic hair. That's what it was. And it was literally like one chapter, and it was how to use a press. That's it. So that's really all I learned. And it's been really great to be inclusive to different voices and different styles and different textures. And I work a lot with like I said, Away and Organic Mineral, and their parent company is Simply Organic. And Simply Organic has really stepped up their game, and I felt very lucky to be aligned with those companies because they have very much so kind of been a leader in the trend of inclusivity, and it's been cool to see, and it's been an eye-opener because you see something for so long and it's just what it is, right? And you know, I'm learning and I am admitting that I was unaware and admitting to the fact that I didn't know, and now I'm turning around and I'm exposing myself because that's the only thing that I know how to do and that I know what I can do at this moment and where I stand. And it's beautiful. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's epic to be a part of it.
Yeah, this is history, you know?
Definitely.
It's going to be really interesting going forward. I mean, if cosmetology schools don't close, because every cosmetology school that's been around our area, Central Coast, Bay Area, has pretty much gone under in the last like year or two. But it'll be interesting to see what their curriculum is going forward and how they change the dynamic of what they teach.
That just made me think of like, I mean, we're talking about opportunity, right? So it's like, yeah, they're going under and there's becoming like this like blank slate.
Yes.
There's this opportunity to be like, okay, beauty school, that's where this starts.
Mm-hmm.
And my beauty school experience was awful.
Oh, awful.
Everyone's, right?
Awful.
And everyone.
Yeah.
And so there's this opportunity to, I mean, I'm not going to open up beauty school right now,
but rebuild.
Right. It's like, oh, okay, we're going to take a step back. What do we really want this beauty industry to look like? And it starts in the education at the school. It's not just about passing state board. There is so much more than that.
And that goes on literally to every facet of everything right now, as it starts in the foundations. You have to build a solid foundation, and you have to build an inclusive foundation in order to be able to support like everyone and their needs and their desires and their dreams to fulfill a life. This American dream life starts with the foundations, and that everyone needs a good one, right? And in beauty school, it's no different. I started at a really great school. I mean, granted, the whole like diversity training was like very slim to none. That was back in 2011, 2012, I started. So, you know, it definitely, my first school was definitely very much than the second school. I went to two. I started at one, left halfway through, and then went to one here in Santa Cruz. And the one in Santa Cruz was like literally a joke. Like, oh, I think back and I'm like, oh man. But I mean, you can, you know, a piece to this as well, that like you said, it was awful going through cosmetology school. Like, they don't make it easy. Not that it should be. No school should be easy, because you need to weed out the people that don't want to actually be there. But then within the industry, you have to have so much self-determination, and there's I think it's less than 5% of people who graduate from cosmetology school that end up actually being in the industry after like 10 years. So it's like we have a need for new stylists, and yet we're cutting that lifeline off. So who's ever listening to this when this airs, if you want to start a cosmetology school, that is a great place. That's a great thing to do.
Yeah, and really look at like what we're doing. Like, I would have loved to have a class on holding space for your clients.
Oh yeah, the curriculum could be exceptional. Like, you could really make a killer curriculum. You can make an amazing program
Within state guidelines. Like, it's totally possible.
Oh yeah, totally. And I think that there is so much more to be said about the mental and the physical well-being of stylists in the industry. And we don't learn about that. No one talks about it. I've been talking about it. I talk about it on my Instagram all the time. I'm like, hey, to be transparent here, I did post that photo of me laughing earlier, but today this is actually what happened. Mm-hmm. Because I think no one's talking about how physically draining it is to stand on your feet for 12 hours a day and to be in constant physical contact with that client, with that energy transmission, and hearing about their sick kids or their job, or, you know, them going through chemotherapy, or, you know, their happiness too, though, like the new loves, or when they're pregnant, or when they get that job, or when their kid college. Like there's all these really beautiful, crazy, intense moments. And you don't know about that until you're in it. So you don't know like how much physical and mental strength go into our job.
And to really take that seriously. Ah.
Yeah. And to be able to prepare for it and nurture yourself so that you can continue to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. That brings me my next question of what do you feel like people get wrong about the beauty industry?
I think that they think that we're just hair cutters. I think that the last shutdown, honestly, like shook a lot of people, and they were like, oh, dang, you don't just put my color on. Like, this isn't easy. And I think that they've seen us showing up and fighting. And I think that they've seen us still reaching out and being on social media. And I think that this last shutdown, if anything, showed that we're not indispensable. And our job is not easy. And we're not just hair cutters. We are so many things rolled into one, including therapists, including, you know, beauty advisors, including like me, like freaking holistic like doctors. Like I don't know, I share like everything that I do with my clients. Not that I'm telling them to like do these things, but I'm just like, this is what I'm doing. And they're like, what? Like you do B12s and it helped your anemia? And I'm like, yes. I'm just like such an open book that like I do what, like my job description, it would be like at the very bottom of it, like hair cutting and coloring.
Yeah, it's like I do all of these things. Oh, well, I'm cutting your hair.
Also, I cut and color your hair. Yes. It's just that's a byproduct of our time together, you know? I don't know. It's definitely not as crazy as that sounds. It's not like the number one thing that I do. Mm-hmm. Yeah, even on my Instagram, if you look on it, like a lot of it is not hair. It's like every 3 or 4 photos is hair. And I'm doing hair the whole time, but it's like, personally, I just feel like I have more to offer than a beautiful blonde. Not to say that I don't do beautiful blonde, because I do, but I just feel like that's not just who I am. I don't just do that. And it used to really hurt me and my feelings when people would say that. Like I just felt so less than, you know, and my self-esteem would be hurt, and I would, you know, second guess myself, like this is a joke or whatever, you know. And it started when I really started building like a super solid clientele, where all of a sudden I realized like I don't just do their hair. These people don't come to me because I do a perfect blunt textured bob, you know. Like I had one client, he was a male client, and he came to me for years, and he's like, honestly, like he's like, I don't give a shit about my hair. He's like, but I come for you because I don't want to go see a therapist. I want to talk to you. And I'm like, yeah, that's rad. I love this. And he was one of my favorite clients, and he just moved to like North Carolina like 3 months ago. And I'm so bummed because he was with me for years. You know, I saw his kid grow up. Like I saw him through 3 different jobs and, you know, relationships and struggles and growth. And not that I necessarily had like the tools in my toolbox to give him like great advice, but I was an ear, and I was a good one, and he appreciated that.
Thinking of all my clients that were that for me too.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's amazing too, because once you're with someone for a while, like you start opening up as well. So like a lot of my clients know all the things.
Yep.
And, you know, they'll ask me, like, if I don't see them for, you know, a couple weeks, they'll be like, how was, like, that one thing that was coming up? And
You're like, how do you remember that?
yes. And like, it just makes me feel, like, so special. And we closed yesterday. And honestly, like, so many clients reached out and they were just like, you are so strong. And I support you no matter what decision you make. And I just want you to know that I'm here for you. And like, however I can help, please let me know. And it's like the most beautiful thing, because that was going to be basically me to them in like the next couple days when I like got my bearings. But it's just, I feel so lucky to have the clients that I do. And I really feel like it's because I was super clear on who I was calling in, and they align with me so well. So we can have these incredible relationships because we're similar in the sense that we have the same values and the same morals, and we can talk about things, and it's freaking beautiful. I love it. I'm so lucky.
So good. So good, Bronwyn. I'm gonna have you create your beauty statement now.
Yeah.
So basically what's gonna happen is I'm gonna read the first part of the sentence and it's fill in the blank. It can be as long as short as you want, whatever feels right. There's 4 of them, and yeah, just speak from your heart as you have been.
I'm an open book. I really am.
I love it. All right. Beauty to me is,
again, it's a feeling. I think it's a feeling that once we are able to dive deep and pull it out, it's a feeling that we're all created perfectly differently. We're all different, but in that difference, it's been perfectly created. And I think beauty truly is the fact that we all have something unique to offer to this life. And that's what beauty is created from.
the beauty industry means to me.
It means to me lifeline. It means change. The beauty industry is ever changing. I love how we have the opportunity to, one, decide where we want to go in the beauty industry. I love how we have the opportunity to make changes, whether it's on like a more grand scale of working with or using eco-friendly, toxic-free products that are beneficial for the earth and our health, versus like even like on more of a micro scale where you're working one-on-one with your guest and you're able to help them release their inner radiance. It's just the beauty industry signifies change, and it's a lifeline to people, to creatives like you and I who want to make a difference.
What I would like people to know about the beauty industry is,
it's multifaceted. It's not one thing. It's not one person. It's not one type of person. It is like a crystal ball that holds the universe. There's so much inside of it, and it goes so deep that if you looked into the beauty industry at first, it might seem that it's just aesthetic. It's just all about looks. It's about how things are perceived. And in actuality, it's so much more than that. And hairstylists now and estheticians and nail techs and everything and everybody that make up the beauty industry now, I think have been able to show that with this last closure when everybody needed us and everybody was fighting for us to come back, because we offer a feeling. We don't just offer service.
Okay, last one. I am beautiful because.
Oh man. I am beautiful because I feel deeply. I feel deeply. I wear my emotions on my sleeve. And because I feel deeply for others. And I think that I'm able to give people the opportunity and the space to feel those things that maybe aren't so comfortable for them and get to the root of their truth and their authenticity and feel those amazing feelings of beauty.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You make the beauty industry beautiful.
Oh, that's sweet. I love that.
Thank you so much for this.
Yeah, thank you. This was powerful. I feel good.
I think I've like been on the verge of crying the entire time.
Oh, it's so emotional meeting with people that are so like-minded and can kind of like spark something in you. And seriously, I can't even like say with words how amazing this has been. I appreciate you so much. I appreciate you having me on this, and I just can't wait to see the finished product and where this goes and what you do with it. And now that I kind of follow you on social media, I'm going to be able to keep tabs on you. And when I get up there, I'm going to let you know, and it's going to be awesome.
I love it. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited to have gained a new friend.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Jillian. This has been freaking amazing.
Right back at you, Bronwyn.
Yeah.
All right. Enjoy your day.
Thank you. You too. Well,
Right,
thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.